Time to say good morning to Gary. Morning, Gary.
Hey, good morning, Darya.
Okay, so we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I want to know what you think it says about Roger Clemens. That at first I was like, wow, he showed up early for his arraignment. It turns out he showed out early because he wanted to take a private jet and get golfing.
Yeah, is that what it ended up doing?
Yeah, he was in a tournament, and so they let him tee off. He left the arraignment, and then he got on a private jet, and he was like, I'm having a great day, and he teed off at 5:30. Special tee-off time for him, and he finished a solo round in less than 2 hours with his wife.
Yeah.
Shot in 84, by the way.
Well, good, yeah. see, here's the thing, and the one thing I'll give him credit for is he is sticking to his story, and
yes.
Maybe there's a chance that he is innocent, but boy, they've got the guys, the trainer that worked with him has the needles and all the evidence. Plus the fact that it's almost like Bonds in the extent that no one in history ever pitched that well after a certain age.
Yeah.
And the same with Bonds. I joke all the time, but if Bonds had just stopped maybe at 30, 38 instead of keep putting up these great numbers, then maybe people wouldn't be so suspicious.
Right.
But, you figure with the heat's on you, like it is now, and you're testifying before the country.
Yeah.
Don't ask for any special privileges.
And it's just Mr. Cool, right? I mean, he was like, had a great day. He's riding around in the golf, and he did quite well.
Yeah.
In the golf cart with some country music playing, and just happy as a clam. Or he's maybe enjoying, his freedom.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Darya, I'll tell you again. If you go to jail for cheating in a baseball game, I mean that's.
Well,
There's
it's
too
for
many
lying
other
to
things
Congress.
going on in the country. This has already ruined his name and ruined him for endorsements and probably ruined him if he wants to get back in the game at some point.
Yeah.
But you honestly, they put him in jail. How ridiculous.
Again, it would be for lying to Congress, not for what he did.
No, I agree. But it's what the joke. I'm not the first guy to say this, but how many guys in Congress are lying?
Yeah, and when people criticize him about the private jet, they're like, how many guys in Congress also jet off in a private jet and go golf or whatever? So.
I can't help it. While we're talking, I saw Hasselhoff's going to be in Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my gosh, they have the best lineups for that show.
Did you happen to see the roast of him?
No.
On Comedy Central. You have to somehow even Google it. I mean, you talk about a guy getting ripped. They talk about poor Hasselhoff. Throwing up. Remember that shot of him on the ground eating a hamburger?
Yes.
Oh, it just goes on and on, like an hour and a half of just ripping of David Hasselhoff. I don't know what it says for me. On vacation, I'm watching the Hasselhoff roast. But just watch 5 minutes of it and tell me.
Okay.
All right?
How about, did you watch the almost no-hitter? The Dodgers beat them, but they didn't get the no-hitter after all.
Yeah. Well, the Dodgers, right now, all this stuff is, I hate to say it, Kuroda, right?
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, Kuroda.
Yeah.
Hiroki.
Well, the Dodgers now, I think this was their first game officially without Manny Ramirez, and they beat a good team in the Phillies.
Yeah, now, so here's the deal. So now they have no Manny. However, they have a ton of Manny wigs.
Yeah.
So they do. And since Manny starts with the White Sox today, the Dodgers are hoping that the White Sox will also want all the wigs.
Geez, I hate to say it. I know that the owners of the Dodgers are going through that divorce, the McCourts, and there's millions, if not billions, involved. But geez, how much can those wigs? How much can they save on the wigs?
Show me the wigs. We actually have Manny.
How many wigs are left?
I don't know how many extra wigs they have, but the point is that maybe they should have signed a contract to get rid of him and the wigs. I don't know.
And of course that Pittsburgh Steeler guy Palomalu, huh?
Now the reason I put him up there is because while I'm looking at Manny's hair, I'm seeing the story that he's the Head and Shoulders guy, the other guy, the Steelers guy.
Yeah.
And so because he's the poster child for Head and Shoulders, they have now insured his hair for $1 million.
As an old-time fan of Diana Ross, I haven't seen that much hair on a performer since she put in her weave in the mid-'70s.
He hasn't cut his hair in 10 years, so I guess it's working for him. But in 2006, he was tackled by the hair, so you can't be too safe.
Yeah, well, exactly. And we were talking about this last night. I guess Mary Hart, Entertainment Tonight person, at one point had her legs insured for $1 million.
Yes, right.
Jennifer Lopez is, believe it or not, it sounds like publicity stuff. Her rear end is insured for $1 million.
Yes, exactly. So,
and I hate to say that's probably worth it, but Palomalu's hair.
I know. So now, okay, one more thing that we got to hit, and
do you find that attractive?
I like long hair. This is a lot. but
yeah, I mean, that's almost too much. But at this point, I'm sure it's a half publicity stunt. Huh?
You know what I also like receding hair.
Well, okay, well, good for you. Why?
All right, so Gare, I want to talk to you about.
Wait just a minute. How dare you?
See that there's the lag time, and so Gary's at home and he sees the TV and then he sees I'm talking.
Yeah. What are we on? Like a 7-second delay?
So yes, just in case you say something, because your mouth is not insured.
Thank you.
Okay, so Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah.
What kind of a life does this kid lead? So MGM hotels are in trouble now because the son, who's 19, is tweeting about dropping $35,000 in one night at the Hayes nightclub in Vegas, where he's only 19.
Yeah, well, that was always the scuttlebutt. I don't know if you remember when Jordan retired the first time.
Yeah.
And again, this is, I wouldn't say it except I heard it from a couple of half decent sources. The word was, well, the death of his father, and he was just tired of everything.
Right.
But then the other thing is that he had a real gambling problem, and the NBA said, why don't you take a couple of years away and try and tone this down?
Oh.
It runs in the family. I mean, the Jordan, they like action.
Oh.
And people will tell you up at that golf tournament up in Tahoe, he's up there playing, $25,000, $30,000 a hand.
Well, let me tell you, at Hayes, you're not gambling. You're spending that money on, it's a strip club.
Okay.
So you're buying drinks, maybe you're buying
where the sun was.
Dances. That's where the sun was. 35 grand. And then he tweets, that makes 50 grand for the day. So he spent 50 grand just partying at the age of underage of 19 in Vegas.
Yeah. And I want to say, he's not that good a basketball player. I mean, seriously, he'll never be a professional. He just doesn't have the skill. He's just barely hanging on in college. And geez, I guess if your allowance, boy, I'll give Mike credit. He's not cheap with his kids, huh?
Yeah, I guess not. Right, exactly. So, anyway, now there's this big investigation into MGM. So they have him to thank.
And you know what? I mean, if a 20-year-old and your name is Jordan, and you want your father to keep gambling at the place, you don't mess with a son, I guess.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you're going to card me when I'm spending that money? I guess not.
Yeah, that. And, hey, you want Daddy to come in here and drop $1 million next month? Let me in.
This is how it works.
Darya, I've always said maybe you can take this as a tip.
Yes.
Keep the kids' allowances down to, you keep it down to $10,000 a month, they're not going to be able to gamble like that.
Just more down to earth. Okay.
You sit with your boys and say, kids, 10 grand a month, and you won't have that problem.
Okay. Thanks for that tip, Gare.
Hey, I'll see you. Speaking of the kids, I'll see you Thursday. I got opening school. I got to walk around tomorrow and look like a good father, all right?
Okay. The one day you get off the couch?
Yeah, absolutely. Then I walk around, and then as soon as my kids go into class, I take a deep breath and go back to my same self.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to you Thursday morning about
that. That a girl. I'll see you, Darya.
Right. It's 8:23. We'll be right back.